everyone, and welcome to Club 3, episode 70 of Rolling in the Isles, an FM20 British Isles Journeyman series with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. So, it's been a bit mixed in the last few weeks, but only in a fairly positive way, really. We haven't lost any games, but we've drawn 3, including against Borussia Dortmund, which was actually a really good result, I thought. But we drew against Leeds in the Premier League, which was disappointing. We drew against Tottenham, which not too bad. We've played a couple of other games in there as well since you and I were together last. I think for the Liverpool match, yes, that's right. And we recently beat Chelsea 1-0 as well. You can see that the score lines remain similar to what we've been talking about recently. All those one-goal leads, etc. in various forms, unless we draw, of course. But they've all been very tight. But form is pretty good. We were supposed to come back today for that Borussia Dortmund game, but to be honest, it was a total dead rubber. We beat Salzburg 2-0 in the previous match, and Ajax lost really to Borussia Dortmund, and therefore we qualified after the Salzburg game, which was fantastic, absolutely brilliant. So we are out of the group stage and into the knockout stages. I'll show you who we've got in a second for that. You might have already seen it, but it's Bayer Leverkusen, who might not be the hardest team in this particular set of fixtures, but currently as we speak they are sitting top of the Bundesliga, so they are a bit of a challenge. But yeah, it's going to be difficult from here on in, isn't it? Look at this list of amazing football clubs that we've got to come up against. But first off is Leverkusen in February time, so we'll get round to that at some point. But yeah, that's not a bad draw, is it? So that got us through the group stages. So there wasn't any point in playing the dead rubber, really, which was against Dortmund. So instead, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to play the Manchester Derby, sort of. That means City versus Derby and United versus Derby. So we're going to play those 2 games today on this episode and see where that leaves us at the end of it in terms of our league position, which currently is pretty amazing, to be honest. We are sitting in 2nd place behind Liverpool after 17 matches. So by the time that we play City and United today, that will take us to exactly the halfway point of the season in the Premier League at 19 matches. And we sit currently equal points with Liverpool. We're just a little bit down on the goal difference, which is again what we've been talking about recently. We're getting some amazing wins. We're getting all the points that we need. But we just need to boost our goal difference slightly and start challenging up around that sort of area with the other teams when it becomes a bit tight. So we've been working on that a little bit. You can see in the recent scheduling, we haven't managed to achieve it, to be honest. It's been very tight and 1 goals here and there, basically. But the one thing that has slightly improved is that we are getting a few more out of Pauletta, which isn't bad. You know, that's pretty good. I'd still like more from him a little bit. But we'll still try and figure out this central midfield role. Today it'll be Vogel in the box-to-box midfielder role. I've played it a couple of times recently. It hasn't done amazing, but it's done okay. But there's also some injury issues that we need to talk about. Unfortunately, Osmani and Batista out of our starting 11, our number 111, are both out today. Batista is out for 3 weeks, unfortunately, with a twisted ankle. And Osmani won't be out for that long. He's almost back to being in training, but that still means that his match conditioning isn't good enough for today. So he's left out. So unfortunately, that meant a bit of a reshuffle at the same time that Onata, the youngster that we've got as a central defender option, he's also out today and is out for a couple of days, about 11 days. So that's not too bad. So our defensive options have shrunk down quite a bit. So what that all means is that everybody else is fit and healthy to take their position in the starting lineup. But it means that today's starting 11 for City is ILM in goal. We've got Romario and Francois in central defence. We've got Bogle at right back. We've got Pellegrini at left back. Ivan, Vogel and Martinez in central midfield. Alart on the right. Gouveia on the left and Pauletta up top, with a bench of Cooper, Joku, Olashenko, Barnils, Elliott, Farrow and Monterese. So let's get into the first of the Manchester games and see what happens. So I've calmly gone with, this is a great opportunity to show all the pundits that they've been right to back you recently. We are at home against Man City today, so that's got to be a help to us. So let's see how we can keep the ball and maintain our discipline in possession and not make any silly errors, and see where that takes us today. So it's Sir Phil Foden, one of my World Cup heroes, with a free kick for Man City, and they get it over the top of the goalkeeper, and then it's cleared. But something went wrong there, but it was a really close opportunity, wasn't it? Very early on for them, and I would have liked a little bit more stability in defence, but of course we've had to reshape it, so it's going to be a little bit shaky, you would imagine. Another cross comes in, but ILM comes out and claims the ball and commands his area, which is what we need him to do today, specifically with that new partnership in central defence. But Phil Foden again nicks the ball for Man City in the midfield area, and they keep possession down this left-hand side. And so far, after 20 minutes, what we've seen of the game is that we're not doing that well. We're not keeping the ball. We're not instilling our version of the game, of the way that we play on the game. We're letting Man City dominate too much. And there's another slight error as we try and clear our lines a little bit. It doesn't quite work, and City regain it, come back in, and it's Gibbons with a shot down the left-hand side of the penalty box that goes straight at ILM. So here we are with a lot on the free kick to the far post. It's partially cleared. Can we pick up the loose ball? Romario does and gets it back to Ivan, who settles the play back down again. Can we rebuild an attack from this point, or are we going to come a cropper from making an error maybe in the back line? But we don't. Again, it's Ivan over the top with Gouveia on the left-hand side, cuts the ball in, and it's Paoletta with a great header, but it's directly at the goalkeeper. A good height for him just to palm it over the top of the bar. And at least we're getting slowly back into this game, it feels like. You see that we've got a slight bit more possession than they have, but we haven't been doing much with it, to be honest, so far. So let's continue this little bit of passage of play where we put the pressure on them. Romario at the back gets a chance to go into midfield. Vogel on the ball, plays a nice ball to Ivan, who goes over the top, but we lose it momentarily. Martinez wins it back again, and there's another sweeping ball by Ivan. Doesn't quite find his man down the left-hand side in Gouveia, and it goes right the way through to Ash in the Man City goal, and he can settle the play down. Is he going to go long? Can we win this in the defensive area? We can't, and Gibbons gets past one and goes into the box, takes a pot shot, but it's a bit of a weak shot on his left foot. But defensively, we're looking very, very shaky, having lost Batista from it, which is so difficult at this moment where we're in such a hard run of fixtures. We boot it clear, and fortunately it sticks to Paoletta at that up at the top, and he rises the challenge, gets into the box one-on-one with the goalkeeper and misses a chance. The defender comes back and does a really great challenge to really slow the play up, but Gouveia picks up the loose ball, and a long shot from Ivan on the edge of the box eventually goes wide, but at least we put the pressure on. We finished the half much stronger than we started it. You can see that there's a couple of bookings for City, one for us and an injury for them, so they've had to rearrange slightly. But yeah, overall, I'm satisfied with this. I felt we started really slowly, but we found ourselves back in the game, and we're pretty much even on most of the stats, which is good to see. It's now about, can we step out from that and do something with it in the second half? So let's go in and encourage them, assertively say, unlucky boys, things just haven't gone quite right for you so far. I just wanted them to know that we're playing well, and there's just that little moment of quality in the striking positions maybe that will get us a goal, and hopefully that can translate into a good motivated performance in the second half. You can see that we are that. They've come out motivated for the second half, and it's been quiet up until the 65th minute. We're going to make a sub in a minute and just keep the things fresh as we move forward, but it has been very, very quiet. And then Gouveia has picked up a knock. What's he got? A knee injury of some sort. So we're going to take him out and put Farrow on and look for a couple of other weak links maybe in this. Pellegrini on a yellow card we're going to take out for Cooper. Don't want it coming to bite us later on with a sending off maybe. And then one of these players, excuse me, one of these players in Vogel or Martinez, I would suggest. And we're going to take Vogel off and put Olashenko on in that central midfield role. Maybe he can find a bit of dynamism to get us moving forward a little bit in the last 15 minutes. And then we are just going to switch it up to positive from balanced. We're not going to change into the gegenpress on this particular match. I think if we go and encroach on them too much, it will leave too much space on the back. And you've seen that they've used the ball over the top a couple of times against us with Gibbons. So we are going to stay in the asymmetric style, but we've just moved it into a positive way rather than a balanced way of playing it. So we'll see whether that can do anything just in these last few minutes. Ivan over the top for Paoletta. Good stop by the goalkeeper. Really, really great ball over the top by Ivan. And there was nobody near him, and he took a good shot, but the goalkeeper got down and parried it away. Looks like we're going to get a 0-0 draw. Unless something happens in this last highlight, maybe. We've got a minute left of the game to play. And they've nicked the ball from us and gone down the left-hand side. Can we nick it back? We do. Olat on the ball. Cuts in from the right wing. Olashenko takes over in the centre of midfield. Brings the ball forward onto Farrow. He's running at his fullback, and he gets past the fullback. Rises another challenge. Gets in the box. Takes a shot, and it's a little bit weak, unfortunately, directly at the goalkeeper. And again, he plucks it out of the air and causes him no major problems. But we've won the ball straight back again from his goal kick, and we again go down the left hand side from Farrow, cross this time to the far post, and it's Martinez on the loose ball, but we lose out and Man City come away with it and go long down the left hand side for them. And there's the final whistle. And in the first of the two Manchester games, we get a fairly credible 0-0 draw. Again, we haven't set the place alight, but it's doing us the world of good just to keep up with this top group of teams. And you can see that the one point that we gained has taken us clear of Liverpool before they play their 18th game today. And the next one up for is Manchester United. So let's just go through and do the team talk and say calmly, unlucky. It was just one of those days where it didn't quite go for us, but I thought we competed very well. You can see we had more shots in the end. We had a bit more possession, not so many shots on target. And that's where we're slightly losing a little bit, I think. But yeah, overall, not too bad. I will happily take a draw against Manchester City at this point in the season. So Gouveia, how long's he out for? 4 to 6 days. Not too bad, but it might mean that he doesn't quite make it in time for the United game. Let's see. We've got 11 matches in a row without losing. But you can see that the issue there is that we're not scoring a huge amount. We are squeaking through on some of these matches. But nonetheless, that's a magnificent run of form. I'm really, really happy with it. So let's see. What have we got? We've got 4 days till the Manchester United game, 4 or 5. So Gouveia might get back in time, but possibly not. Anyway, join me in a second and we'll find out as I move us on to the United game. So, welcome back to the next game in this particular episode against Manchester United. I just thought I'd show you the table just before we get into the game. You can see that Liverpool are now a couple of points clear of us, with us and Arsenal on 40 points to their 42 points just behind. Man City in with 37 and United down in 6th place. It's been an interesting ride for United over the last decade or so in this particular save. They haven't won the Premier League. They've only come like 3rd once, I think. It's not been particularly great. So they are struggling a little bit to maintain their sort of historical clout, as it were. But yeah, they're nonetheless going to be a challenging game for us to play today. So yeah, that's where we are with the competition page in the Premier League. This is what we've done in terms of the team for today. We've made a couple of changes, one that was enforced and one that was chosen. So Gouveia does come out of the side. He picked up a little bit of a knock. He's not going to be out for long, but just for today isn't fit enough to play. We still lack Batista and Nata. They're still both out, but Osmani comes back into the side, which is great, down the right-hand side of defence. And the one choice substitution that I made in terms of subbing one out and putting another guy in for the starting 11 for this game is I put Olashenko in that central midfield role. Again, Vogel didn't light the place up last game, came off for Olashenko, and so we're just going to see if he can do a better job in this particular match today. We are at home again against a Manchester club. Man City last game, and now Manchester United as well. So it was a good couple of fixtures to have at this point to try and get some good points on the board against them at home. So let's see if we can do that today against United. So we have ILM in goal, Romario and Francois again in central defence, with Osmani at right back, Pellegrini at left back, Ivan, Olashenko and Martinez in central midfield, Olat on the right, Farrow on the left, with Paoletta up top, and a bench of Bogle, Joku, Vogel, Barnils, Elliott, Daniels and Monterese. Now that tongue twister is out the way, let's see what happens in this second match. So we've passionately said that we're favourites here for a reason, so go out and show them why. And that's an interesting place for us to be, isn't it, really? Over the last few seasons, we have been challenging for that top 4 spot. We got it last season, and now we face a Manchester United side at home where we are considered the favourites for the game. How things have changed. So let's see if we can actually do something with that and produce a performance that's worthy of that favourite status. So it's Martinez with a corner kick comes in, and it's going to be Romario who picks up the loose ball, puts it to the far side with Ivan. What a lovely cushioned header that was from Ivan, right on the far side of the penalty box. Cushions the header to the far post as he looks at it, catches the goalkeeper by surprise and puts it right in that corner, and we go 1-0 up. Romario picks up the loose ball, having had it cleared from the corner kick, puts a lovely cross in, and Ivan with a great header. Really impressed by that. And what a fantastic opportunity to take a lead right the way in the middle of the first half and show that there's a reason why we were potentially favourites for this particular match. Fantastic. So again, we get a chance to build up from the back, and we get a chance to go through the motions of our controlled possession. Can we do it without making an error and make them chase the shadows for a while, wear them out, keep the ball and work a chance for ourselves? We found a lot down the right hand side who stops the passing and runs instead with the ball, gets it into Paoletta, who loses out, unfortunately got crowded out by 2 or 3 defenders, and United have come away and cleared the ball, but Pellegrini picks it up again for us. Olashenko over the top for Olart and straight down the sights of the goalkeeper, unfortunately. It was a good opportunity, but a slightly wide angle. Probably should have cut it across maybe. Didn't quite manage that, but gets a shot away nonetheless. And United have had a couple of scares already, as well as the goal that we've scored. So we're doing okay so far. There's a loose ball for us to win with Osmani down in the right back area. Ivan dwells on the ball a little bit, but comes away with it just about, moves it on, and eventually we find Olart again down the right hand side. Cross comes into the near post, and normally Paoletta is running across that central defender at the near post and taking a first time shot, but didn't quite work out that time. Eventually goes for a corner kick. We get a chance for the corner kick, but it's partially cleared, and Olart with the ball. We win it back again. Francois in the central midfield area, having not quite gone back from the corner kick, and we've eventually settled the play back down again, get it back to Ivan, and then it's Osmani tries to go over the top, but it comes back to him from a headed clearance by United, and we maintain possession, but only just. There's a couple of areas where we could have lost the ball there, but we're still working it nicely. And here's the space. Osmani down the right hand side, crosses to the far post, and Farrow can't quite keep the header down, goes over the top of the bar, but it was well worked, although we did ride our luck a little bit. Cross comes in from United, and ILM comes imperiously out and claims the ball and commands the area again and shows why he's our number 1 goalkeeper. Fantastic so far for us this season. And it's Olart down to the left-hand side for Farrow. Finds himself in so much space and puts the ball home for 2-0. Just encroaching into the penalty box. Took a slightly earlier shot than maybe they thought he would. Maybe they thought he might cross it in. But look at this ball by Olart. Finds him in so much space. Farrow cuts into the box, moves it onto his right foot, and then curls one right into that far corner. And the goalkeeper stood no chance. And we go 2-0 up. Just before half-time. We've got a couple of minutes left till half-time, and we can come in at half-time and be really, really happy with that. There is a reason why we were favourites for this particular match. We are dominating the game. Possession stats are good. Shots at goal are good. We could do again with a couple more on target, but other than that, it's going really, really well today. So positively, we go into the team talk and we say, I'm very happy. Keep it up though. Make sure you maintain your focus as we move into the second half. Everybody's fit enough to carry on and playing well enough to carry on. So we'll go straight into the second half and just see if we can use the controlled possession to frustrate United and keep the ball away from them, boost up our possession stats a little bit, and just dominate the game through controlled possession, which is the way that I choose to set this team up. and hopefully it will do the trick. So far, the second half has gone by without a hitch, and we're at the 71st minute with a free kick for us, Olart down the right-hand side, and it cuts across everybody, and it was Francois that went down under a challenge, and the referee has given a penalty to us, and Paoletta from the spot, can he put it away for 3-0? He can't. The goalkeeper scrambles across goal and pushes the ball round the post for a corner kick. But the corner kick comes in. Another chance for us to get something. Martinez with the corner kick on the far side. Cuts it to the near post as we look at it. And Francois picks up the loose ball, rides a challenge. Gets into the box. Can he find a man? He goes out to the edge of the box. And we have a double attempt, but eventually boot it over the top. I think it's now a chance for us to make a couple of late substitutions. What on earth is Pauletta's down at 5.8 as an average rating for today, because he missed that penalty, I guess, and hasn't really shown up other than that. So Monterese will play the last sort of 10 minutes or so of the game. And what else have we got? We're going to take off Martinez and put Barniels on. We're going to leave Olishenko in. I think he's doing a reasonable job. He might just take that position for a little while away from Vogel, so we'll have to watch that. And then I'm going to rest Olart and bring on Elliott, just because he needs some match time a little bit, and we need to keep Olart healthy for the rest of the fixtures coming up. We're moving into a new year period where there's a couple of quite regular games, so we need to rest a couple of players here and there. So that substitutions having been made, let's see if we can see out the remainder of the game. We're at 86 minutes, and again we have possession of the ball, and again we've worked it really nicely down the left hand side for Farrow, right the way to the byline, and instead of cutting it back for a teammate, tries to have a shot at goal, and it was far too narrow, and the goalkeeper covered his near post with no problems. United come in with a ball, and I think it was offside, to be honest. I think it was been given. Yeah, blows his whistle for offside decision. I think it was fairly obvious, to be honest. I wasn't worried about that one. You can see as the ball is crossed in there, he's off by quite a long way, isn't he, in the centre of the penalty box. And there's no wonder that he puts it in the back of the net, because he gained an unfair advantage. But there we go, right the way through to the final whistle. We absolutely dominated this game. 15 shots to their 8. We only got 5 on target, though. Still the thing that I'm concerned about the most. 61% possession, which is really great. And everything worked out for us fantastically well today. So we passionately go in and we say, I'm very happy with the result and the way that you played. Fantastic. Let's go out and see what happened in some of the other games in and around today's fixture, and see what that's done for our league position as we are moving into the new year of 2031 soon. So let's see what happens. A couple of random news items, and then go into the competition page, and you can see that we are back up into second place on our own from Arsenal, but they've now got a game in hand. They play a late game, obviously. We're still 2 points behind Liverpool. That's no bad place to be at this point. City on 40 points, Arsenal on 40 points, just beginning to gather behind us, but I think we're going to do okay in definitely fighting for one of these top 4 positions. How high can we go, though? That is the question. So what have we got coming up? We've got quite a lot coming up. We've got a game against Reading in the FA Cup. We've got a game, obviously, in February against Leverkusen in the Champions League. So we'll probably come back for the second of those games and play it in an episode. And then let's go and check in with the schedule, just to see what our Premier League games are like coming up. So we've got a couple of really, really quick games. We've got one in 2 days against Birmingham. So we're going to have to rotate the squad a little bit. And then 3 days after that or something, we've got Fulham in the Premier League before our Reading FA Cup match. And then it's a tough run again, isn't it? Arsenal, Man United, leading up to Leverkusen. So, yeah, some big games coming up. And in between the Leverkusen games, we've got Man City and Chelsea to play. And Tottenham and Liverpool directly after it. That is a 2-month period, sort of 2.5, between January and March, where we got all the big teams to play, pretty much. After that point, for April and May, we haven't got any of the big guys. So it's going to be an important period for us to get the points on the board that we need to secure whatever position we're trying to gain at the back end of the season. So where are we going to come back? We are going to come back and we are going to play... Do you know what? we are going to come back and play another Manchester game. Manchester United at the very end of January. It will give me a perfect opportunity to come back, play that game, see whether we can get the double over them in the Premier League, and also tell you about any dealings that happen in the January transfer market. I'm not expecting any, to be honest. If we go and have a look at the finances, we've got 14 million in the transfer budget, and we've got quite a lot in wage structure, so we can do some things, but it's about finding the quality. I might have a look around, but I'm not guaranteeing anything at this point. So join me for the next episode for another United match. We did really well today, a draw against City and a win against United, sitting happily in second place and leading up to the Leverkusen knockout stages of the Champions League. All going pretty well. I still want a few more goals, so we'll continue to work on it. I might have a look and see if there's any strikers around, or another central midfielder, maybe, just to iron out some of the kinks in our current squad. But join me for the next episode to find out. Thanks for joining me today, though. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and join my United City community. Click that like button for me on the video. Helps me get seen by loads of other people. Leave a comment in the comment section below about what you thought about today's episode and what you're looking forward to coming up in the near future. Until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.